Givoli. The woman with a bullet in her leg. Neda slammed the sole of her shoe on the brake pedal. A police car was parked up ahead, 2 officers flagging down drivers. She couldn't be pulled over, no fucking way. Neda gripped the gear stick, rammed it into first, the stick hitting her thigh. She winced, in memory more than pain. As she U-turned in the middle of the road, Neda felt the bullet in her leg ache. Shot by the police in a car chase, 13 years earlier in Belgrade. It wasn't going to happen again. Horns blared as Neda swerved between cars and screeched off in the opposite direction. She snatched a glance in the mirror. The police officers were looking her way, one of them on his radio and the other moving towards the police car. Neda took the first turning, no clue which street she was taking as she sped left, then right, into the city centre. She spied a side street, hit the curb as she turned and jolted to a halt behind a fence. Checking the mirror, Neda couldn't see any police cars in her trail, but a distant siren made her jump into action. She leapt out of the old Fiat, rooted round the boot and found a screwdriver. It wouldn't fit the registration plate screws, so she jammed it behind the plate and yanked hard. In case the police had seen the registration number, she needed to remove the plate. But the sirens were getting closer. Fuck it. Neda dropped the screwdriver, grabbed her handbag from the passenger seat and ran. Instantly tripping over the curb, Neda fell to the ground. Heels were no good for running. She took off her shoes and ran barefoot until she reached the main road. Taking a breath, Neda slipped her heels back on. Her denim skirt was hitched up from the fall, a graze in her leg. She pulled down the skirt and checked herself on her phone camera, adjusted her wig. Her eyes were wide, a combination of panic and coke, but she still looked pretty hot. Handbag over her shoulder, Neda walked along the main road towards the lake. If the police were still there, she wouldn't be recognised. Besides, there was nothing to connect her to the car, so they had no reason to stop her. But the police were gone. Had they driven after her? Or maybe it was nothing to do with her. Walking tall, Neda wanted to laugh. Maybe she'd been overly paranoid. Or maybe she'd been ultra alert. Either way, she was all right. A bit sweaty, and the car had been dumped, but she couldn't afford to run it anyway. Plus the bumper was falling off, and the tyres were worn out. So it was better to get rid of it. Seeing the police checkpoint had been a good wake-up call. Fucking Austrian police. Why couldn't they just leave her be? Fuck them. She didn't need the car, though it was a long walk from the city centre to the lake, especially in heels. A car horn beeped, making Neda jump. It was just 2 guys leering at her as they drove past. Neda gave them the middle finger. Couldn't a woman walk on her own without being hassled? It was 2016, for fuck's sake. She walked past a brothel, housed between a BMW showroom and a Billa supermarket. Maybe the 2 men thought she was a prostitute. Half the Austrian women were, because it was legal. The lake came into view, and Neda breathed a sigh of relief as she headed towards the former guest house. It was impossible not to remember when they had owned the whole building instead of renting one of the converted apartments, before her idiot of an ex-husband fucked things up. The place still looked like from a fairy tale, but these days represented a living nightmare. As Neda climbed the steps to the second-floor apartment, her leg ached. Had she hit it? From the second she drove away from the police, it had all been such a blur. Maybe it was just because of the cold. The bullet always played up in winter. Or maybe it was a premonition. Was something wrong? Had the police found documents in the car and discovered her address? Were they waiting inside the apartment? Neda listened outside the door. It was silent inside. She took out her mobile, called her son. Dayan answered. "What, Mama? Are you in the apartment?" "Well, of course." "No one came there." "Of course not." "Okay, I'm here." Neda opened the door and walked in. Dayan stood in his bedroom doorway. He frowned, said, "Where's the food?" Neda looked down at her empty hands. In a rush to escape, she'd left the bags of shopping in the car. Shit, I forgot the shopping. How could you forget it? You don't understand what happened. I had to leave quickly. Leave where? The car. So where's the car? Don't ask too many questions. So there's nothing to eat. I'll make something. Eggs again. You need to eat less anyway. You can't even buy food without making a problem. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have any food. You always mess things up. You're an idiot. Idiot, don't ever call me that again, you little shit. You are an idiot, and you look ugly in that wig. Neda swiped off the wig and threw it at Dayan as he stormed into his room, slamming the door behind him. Neda didn't mind the argument. It was normal behaviour between a mother and son. Domestic reality was better than being chased by the police, real or imagined. Neda sat in the kitchen. She needed a cigarette and a drink. Opening her handbag, she found half a packet of Marlboro Lights and a bottle of white with a third left. She gulped the wine from the bottle and lit up a cigarette. Relaxed, Neda opened the fridge. There weren't only eggs, there were also 2 red peppers. She'd make scrambled eggs with fried red peppers, true Serbian food. She'd show her son that she wasn't a shit mother. Feeling nostalgic, Neda found a YouTube video of Setsa on her mobile, turned up the volume as she cracked eggs into a bowl. Neda heard Dejan bang on his door. She didn't care and sang along with Setsa. Mama! Neda turned to see Dejan standing in the hallway. She blew him a kiss. Her son rolled his eyes as he opened the front door, Neda realising that it was someone else knocking, not Dejan. The world slowed as Dejan turned to his mum. She saw him mouth the words, "Sorry, Mama." A man in a suit strode into the flat, brandishing a police inspector ID. Over Setsa's voice, the inspector said, "Frau Panic, you're under arrest." The police inspector reached over, turned Setsa off. He held up a document that said, "And this is a warrant to search the premises." Neda froze as one police officer after another piled into the apartment. A sniffer dog led in at the rear. This wasn't about her driving without a licence. It was the past coming back to fuck up her life more than she could imagine.